Welcome to another video today from the Classic Remise in Düsseldorf, and let's have a look at all of this together. If you want to see a lot of nice cars in the same spot, you have to come here. The 722s are actually 700k here, which I think is quite a lot for this car, which reportedly doesn't drive that well. I always liked the SLS as a roadster because it has the normal doors. I never liked the gull-wing doors on the SLS because there's no real technical reason for them. And you have a Murcielago next to an Aventador, which is quite nice. And you can see how these Lamborghinis develop further. It's quite impressive. So such an Aventador still looks like a modern car. It doesn't look 13 years old. Really cool. And I also really like the look of the Murcielago. That came out when I was in primary school, so that was one of the dream cars at the time. With these large mirrors, these nice scissor doors. And we also have a Morgan Aero 8. Pretty nice here with the two rear windows. And yeah, look at that wooden interior. The side indicator, which we know from, I think, Italian cars. Right? It looks like the Fiat side indicator. And the swept mini front lights. So the right one is on the left and the left one on the right. Looks a bit like cross eyes, but really cool appearance also with the three wipers. So really nice. And look around what else we have here. Pretty much everything you could wish for. And look at this. This is the expensive area. Really like Pagani. I went to them 2 years ago, visited them in Italy. Really nice, although I'm not the biggest fan of the Huayra. Somehow the proportions are a bit off, although this model looks really nice here. And the Carrera GT at the back. Yeah, Carrera GT, just a great investment. And if you think about, I think they started at 452,000 euro, and now it's like 1.2 until like 1.7 million. So great car. Walter tested it. Did the suspension setup, amazing. Just look at all these little details. So if you just look at the fuel flap or the hinges here for the Aero flaps in front, really nice. Also the headlights. I mean, every manufacturer has the problem to have proper headlights because usually these supercar manufacturers are not headlight manufacturers. Only Koenigsegg is, but I think they found a good solution here. But also look at the screws for the front grille. Really nicely done. And look at this, there's even a Porsche flat nose. And then here we have Jaguar E-Type and an SLR. I think the SLR was the weakest out of the three cars back in the day, the Carrera GT and Ferrari Enzo. It started at 426k. In the meantime, you could already buy them for 150k, which was the same price like a used SLS, because the relationship between McLaren and Mercedes wasn't really good at the time. The car is the result of that. In terms of driving performance, it wasn't that great, but actually for pretty little money, relatively, you could get a supercar, so with carbon fiber top, and it's an interesting construction, but it's not not the perfect car, I would say. Then look at this Countach, always great to see it, also with the wing. The Z8, really cool car. Back in the day, I can still remember, I think they were around 120,000 euro. And I was already thinking, I was back in school back in the day, and I was thinking that would be a great investment. Why not buy such a Z8 for 120k? Nowadays prices are a lot higher, so we're somewhere between 150, 200k, so also a great car. of course, the Veyron. Since we already have the VW Phaeton and the Lupo 3L, the Veyron would be the next one in the list to collect PH cars, but I think we have to save some money until then. And there's an Espada. I really like the Espada. The Lamborghini was one of the cheapest Lamborghinis when I was looking for Lamborghinis, so also a pretty cool car. The Z1, really enjoyed the Z1. The design is amazing until today. Always looks like a small Lamborghini. Really pretty and nice car. 300 SL and the little brother next to it. Maybe we should do a video about the XL1 at some point. So the 1 liter car of VW and what it has become later on. And also a great project was the Ford GT. Really nice, pretty much built like an LMP2 car aerodynamically, and always great to see it. Also that is a great investment because it was super expensive when it came out, but actually it was worth it and prices are increasing. Also a nice workshop, Ferrari 348 with the engine or the whole drivetrain out. Also quite nice to see the GT3 RS aerodynamics here. So you can see that these roof fins are not straight, they're angled to create this vortex along the rear. Also the gap between the two wing elements is really huge. Yeah, nice aero work, and we already analyzed it in one of my earlier videos. But always nice to see this in reality. And the retro Lancia, you can also see this one here with the Ferrari engine. Very nice design, very nice new interpretation of this. I think it's for sale for 1 million. Next to it the SLR Roadster. I always liked the design of this one, although I never liked the interior of this. So with these turbine wheels to get the heat out, because the exhaust is already ending here. But I never liked the interior of this, so it always looked a bit, too much like a B-Class to me. And the DB12, so yeah, not really sure about this design. I never really liked these sheet metals with hole inside here, and this rear light which is going across the separation line, and also with this little gurney coming out. Somehow was never something I liked. I do like the interior though, and one thing that looks cool but it's pretty impractical when you're driving is this outlet, because it's really letting all the air out of the wheel arch, and then you have all the dirt here at the side, so it just means you need to clean the car more often. And the Aston Martin workshop with the new Vanquish looks really amazing in reality. Wow, what a design. So a closer look at the SP4. Nice to see these canard-like panels here in front, and also the bent front grille. The tiny stalks here for the side wing mirrors, and also the early air intakes, and this almost human shoulder-like line here. Very interesting. On the other hand, the front axle extraction is not really a lot, so it's only this opening here at the side. Also here is the handle for the door. And of course, most of the cars hang on the C-Tech here to keep the battery alive. So I hope you liked this little walkthrough, and see you at the next video.